I said, I'm off to speak to the #1 political movement in the national polls. #1, have you seen that poll? For the first time ever in British political history, Nigel Farage and Reform are ahead of the Tories in every single major opinion poll. I saw the approval ratings come out. Kemi Badenoch's -15. That's what I call Prince Harry territory. Keir Starmer is -35. That's what I call Meghan Markle territory. And it's not hard to see why, is it? It's not hard to see why. If you look at why people are voting for reform, the #1 reason is we want to lower immigration. We want an end to this extreme policy of uncontrolled mass immigration. Very simple. I don't know if you saw this week, Priti Patel gave an interview in which she was presented with the graph of what the Tories did when they were in power, what Boris Johnson did. And she said, well, it's great, we had 1 million people come in and they're high skilled. I don't know what Priti Patel is drinking. Strong stuff. What the Tories have done to this country is the opposite of what they're telling this country they've done. What they did, and we need to be clear about it, they flooded Britain with low-skill, low-wage migrants from outside of Europe, from culturally incompatible countries. And the numbers are absolutely bananas. If you look at the millions of people that came in over the last few years, the percentage that came into this country to work was just 22%. 22%. I'll give you an example. At the end of last year, we gave out 15,000 visas in this country to people overseas to come and work in our health and social care system. 15,000. We gave 60,000 visas, 60, to their relatives. 60,000. So when I see Tories saying that they've reshaped the country around high-skilled immigration, I say they are lying to the British people. Because the research that we've seen now, even the Office for Budget Responsibility acknowledges this. What we now have in this country is a model of immigration that is making us poorer, not richer. It's taking more out of the economy than it's putting in. And this is not about demonising the people coming over. It's about pointing at Westminster and the establishment and saying, you guys have got this completely wrong. This is not the way to manage immigration. It's not the way to manage immigration. And then we've got the small boats. We've got illegal migration. That's costing us £5.4 billion every year. 5.4 billion, which means by the time we get to the next election and we get a reform government, by the time we get to that election, British taxpayers will have spent about £60 billion on our broken asylum system. £60 billion. And this week, the Labour Party have brought forward a new law that is going to decriminalise illegal migration. So what they're going to do, you have to be very clear about this, because when Keir Starmer says he's smashing the gangs, what he's actually doing is he's removing a previous duty which was brought in under the Conservative government to detain and deport illegal migrants when they arrive in this country. That's going. He's creating a pathway to citizenship for illegal migrants, on top of all of us spending £3,000 every day for clothes and accessories and cash cards and all the rest of it. What he's also doing is removing any active deterrent that we had for illegal migration. The Rwanda scheme, it wasn't perfect, but that's gone. And he's replacing the active deterrent with more incentives for people to come. And you might as well put a neon sign on the White Cliffs of Dover saying, "Come on in, we're a soft touch." Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And the thing that gets me is when you look at what's actually happening in our public services. I don't know about you, but I read the coverage of British people being treated in corridors in hospitals. British people dying in hospital corridors with their families, not able to have the privacy and dignity that they should have because we can't afford to give them a functioning national health service. And then I read that we're giving £15.3 billion every year in foreign aid to countries overseas. My motto is fix Britain first before helping the world. You know, we just smashed British pensioners in this country to save £1.5 billion, okay? We're wasting £5.5 billion a year on our broken asylum system. We just smashed British farms to save £500 million. We're sending £500 million to farms in Africa and South America. It's completely mind-boggling, it's insane, it's got to stop, and it will stop.